Yeah, I mean, I had some nerves a little bit going in. I hate to admit that, but my first at bat, my knees are shaking a little bit. I feel like, I've never really played softball before, but once you get the first one out of the way, everything seems a little bit easier from then, so it's good.
Did you have a lot of family members, friends, I would imagine the entire Texas contingent had a big turnout?
Yeah, I had both my parents there, I had my girlfriend and her family there, and I had my grandparents there as well, so it was really nice to see all of my family.
And to be able to come away with five wins, I mean, just was that a kind of a great kickstart to this year as far as just not only being able to get the games in and the at bats, but to really kind of get off to a really good collective team start?
Yeah, I think we definitely started on the right foot, and I think it's definitely a great place to be at the beginning of the season, and it just helps us want to stay undefeated and just keep going.
Jacob?
Hey, Hunter, are we good to just hop in? Sorry, Ella.
Yep, you're
No,
good.
it's all right. It's okay.
Cool. Cool. Anyway, I'm sure you've talked a little bit about the opening weekend, but this weekend coming up, getting a chance now to go to yet another tournament. What do you think that you learned kind of in your first weekend of non-conference tournament that you can kind of take from that and use it this weekend in Louisiana Tech?
I think the biggest thing for me is at the end of the day, it's just softball. It's the same game I've played since I was young. So again, not letting the moment get too big, just being myself out there. That's the biggest thing for me to help move forward.
And I apologize, maybe this was asked, maybe this wasn't, but I'm curious to talk to you. We've kind of heard, you've got a really strong relationship with Brie Ellis, her being somebody who's one of those veterans who's been through a lot. I'm curious, so far since you've been here, what have you kind of learned from Brie, and just the way that she goes about the college game and navigating college softball?
Yeah, so I think one thing I've learned from Brie is that just her presence and her confidence, like no matter if Brie's 0 for 2, 3 for 3, she's always going to be the guy and she's going to be someone that you fear. So wanting to instill that in myself a little bit and just I look up to her in that way. So it's just having that presence that I'm the best regardless of what day I'm having.
And curious as well, you look around the roster, it just seems like, especially this week, and a lot of the freshmen really made a lot of impacts, especially on the pitching staff. What's that like, knowing that all of these, young softball players with all this potential and that'll one day be the faces of this Arkansas program, that gets to show to the fans right away, hey, we're here, we're ready to go. And, we're not scared of anyone, especially a Texas State team that I think won 47, 50 games last year.
Yeah, I think it was just great for all the freshmen to showcase their talents. One freshman in particular, my best friend, Cam Harrison, she went in at a crucial moment during the Texas State game, and Texas State is a really tough team. So for her to come in and just do her thing, I wasn't surprised. I was just ultimately really proud of her.
Last one for me, and then I'll kind of turn it over if Ethan's got anything or Meredith or Brett again. But as you kind of move forward now, you've got it the first weekend under your belt. What are you looking forward to now the rest of the way leading up till when you get to make your debut at Bogle Park and, as hopefully at third base or shortstop, wherever Coach Seifel puts you.
I'm just looking forward to having more fun. I mean, last weekend I felt like I was like, like it's my first couple games, just trying to get it over with essentially. But now that I know the slopes a little bit, just having more fun, showcasing my talents a little bit more.
That's all I got. Anyone else?
Going back on Bree for a little bit, whenever you reach the last game on there and the bases are loaded with her coming to the plate, what's just going through your mind knowing the kind of the situation that the game is in?
Yeah, so I'll just go back to when I was at bat. The only thing I had two things on my mind. One, get on base. And two, it was get on base for Bree because even if I don't essentially do my job and win the game, I have the utmost confidence in Bree Ellis that she's gonna freaking win this game for us. So it was essentially just find a way to get Bree up, I think she's the best, so it was just finding a way for her to get that moment.
Is it kind of, cool for you as a freshman being sandwiched between most of the time Kaylee, who's such an electric hitter, and then Bree just kind of getting to be that middle piece there?
Yeah, it is amazing. I mean, Kaylee can do it all. She is a freak of nature. And then Brie Ellis, I mean, whew, just Brie Ellis, so it's just awesome getting to learn from both of them and just, you know, finding my place in between such greatness. It's really special.
Bree told me before the season started that she's had conversation with you about like how kind of like fearlessness as a freshman, just because she said they don't really have the book on you at all yet. Is that something that you kind of keep with you, that, to just kind of play loose and free, knowing that, you are kind of young and green and pitchers don't necessarily know what to throw you?
Yeah, I definitely play with a little bit of a chip on my shoulder, just feeling like, I got nothing to lose. None of these people know me, so hey, maybe if I mess up, they'll forget about it. But yeah, I just try to have fun, and I just hope that I can leave my mark eventually.
And I know I think first game started third base, you played short some too. Is there a particular spot, in the infield that you feel the most comfortable at, or is it right now just whatever you need to do to help the team?
Oh, it's whatever I need to do to help the team. I mean, I think at any spot on the field, I'm gonna be loud and annoying, so it doesn't matter where I'm at. I mean, I could be playing left bench and I'd find a way to chirp at the other team.
I think Bogle Park will like loud and annoying, so keep it up.
I'll jump back in on kind of the loud and annoying while we're talking about it. Is that where does that personality come from for you?
That's just me. That's literally just me. I mean, you can ask all of my friends. There's not really an on and off switch when it comes to me on the field and me at my dorm room. So I just like to have fun. And honestly, I think the more I can make my friends laugh, the better we're gonna play. So it's just for them at the end of the day.
That's awesome. You always gotta love that. And I'll finish off with this. What's been kind of the hardest adjustment for you going from being high school senior, summer going in, playing for Team USA to now being a college student and making that adjustment and switch to, maybe a bit more less routine, I would say, than you are in high school and over the summer, I'm sure.
Yeah, so I think being at Arkansas and being a college athlete, I think there's a lot of routine that I've had to get down and, consistently waking up, going to weights, going to class, this and that. And I think the biggest difference is just focusing on school a little bit more. I mean, grades are pretty important here. In high school, you can kind of get by if you hit a couple home runs. So school is definitely something I've been having to tackle.
That's awesome. Thanks, Ella.
Thank you.